Connecting Arizona. This is 12 News at 10.
I heard this pop, 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 pop. Kind of multiple shots. I thought maybe it was lightning. It sounded so loud.
A man police consider armed and dangerous on the loose tonight after a deadly shooting here in the valley. Plus, a 2-year-old found wandering the streets of Surprise, wearing only a t-shirt and diaper.
Whenever he'd get angry, he'd be like, oh, I just want to shoot everyone up.
And a friend of the Colorado gunman shares what he says were warning signs leading up to the school shooting last week. Good evening. I'm Aralia Ortega in for Kim Covington. We begin with a story 12 News and the Arizona Republic have been following very closely since it broke. Child Protective Services' failure to investigate thousands of allegations of child abuse or neglect. Our most vulnerable little ones left to fend for themselves. Tomorrow, Arizona lawmakers are scheduled to meet and discuss the progress being made. At last check of the more than 6,500 cases, about 200 of them have now been checked on. That, according to Governor Jan Brewer's CARE team, which was appointed to look into the backlog issues. The team also says nearly 20% of the cases have now been assigned for additional investigation. Frank Morales is live at the Capitol, where the meeting is set to take place at 1 o'clock tomorrow. And Frank, what can we expect?
12 News.
Thanks, Frank. Another top story tonight involving a child left all alone. Authorities say a 2-year-old boy who was found wandering around a Surprise apartment complex this morning has been safely reunited with his family. Police say the boy was barefoot and wearing only a t-shirt and a diaper when someone spotted him and called the cops. 2 hours after police got to the scene, the child's parents came forward and said their son had slipped out of the apartment while they were sleeping. Thankfully, the child was not hurt. It's not yet known whether the parents will face charges. Police are searching for this man suspected in a shooting that killed one person near a Youngtown hotel. They say Joseph Gonzalez should be considered armed and dangerous. Gonzalez is wanted in connection with the death of 24-year-old Jordan Nava outside this Best Western near Grand and 111th Avenue. The shooting happened around 4 o'clock yesterday. The victim died on his way to the hospital. Gonzalez was last seen in a gray-colored or silver 1990s model sedan. If you have any information on this case, call 911 or Silent Witness at 480-WITNESS. Now the latest on Friday's school shooting in Colorado, as more details about a possible motive are emerging. Could this have come from a dispute with a teacher? A close friend of gunman Carl Pearson says yes, and he says there were plenty of warning signs.
You never think it's going to be your school.
She just told me that they're all really scared and that they're locked in their classrooms.
Friday's chaos, Saturday's disbelief.
Here, like my school, like the people that I know.
Arapahoe senior Joe Redman was hiding in a hallway listening to a school administrator's radio.
So we heard a play-by-play of everything that happened while we were sitting in this hallway.
There's a student down in the athletic hall.
And I heard it was Carl Pearson, and I broke down because he's my friend.
Close friends for 3 years, co-captains of the speech and debate team.
Hi, I'm Carl Pearson, a freshman at Arapahoe High School in Littleton.
During this 2010 debate, he asked a question that now seems chilling. Concerned about his own legacy even then, he told friends he had big future plans centered around his passion for speech and debate. His coach and mentor was school librarian Tracy Murphy.
He went to nationals with Mr. Murphy, and I know that they did not get along on this trip to nationals. Carl had threatened to kill Mr. Murphy, kind of half-jokingly, and Mr. Murphy brought that to the administration, and Carl got suspended for that.
He says his friend was never the same after that suspension in September.
So when Carl came back, he was pretty angry. He felt like the suspension had ruined his chances into college and ruined his future.
Looking back, Redmond says there were signs of trouble. Classmates say Pearson was punished in the past for using strong language and could be verbally combative.
Whenever he'd get angry, he'd be like, oh, I just want to shoot everyone up.
Redmond and others assumed he was joking.
Obviously, he wasn't kidding.
Never did he think his friend was capable of this.
Carl was a good guy, and he made my days better. And that's what hurts the most, is he wasn't a villain.
Authorities say the gunman shot 17-year-old Claire Davis in the head before turning the gun on himself. Police believe she was a random victim who did not know the shooter. One classmate describes her as a sweet girl and an avid horse lover. Her family says she's a woman of principle. They're asking the community to pray for her recovery as she remains in critical condition tonight. It's a story you'll see only on 12 News. For the past year, the Arizona Republic has been requesting public records and attempting to talk to Customs and Border Protection about the deaths of more than 40 people since 2005, finding that there were little to no apparent repercussions for agents who shot to kill, even though they likely had other less lethal options. You can read the three-part investigation in the Arizona Republic tomorrow and Tuesday. And on Arizona Nightly News tomorrow at 6 o'clock, Joe Dana will have a full report telling one of the stories, a mother in search of answers after her son was killed near the border. And breaking news just into the newsroom tonight of a horrific crash that has claimed the lives of an elderly couple. You're taking a live look at the scene near 75th Avenue and Bell Road. It has now been cleared, but authorities say 71-year-old Robert Kelly and his wife, 70-year-old Nelda, were riding in a white sedan when they were struck. They're both from North Carolina and were in town visiting for the holidays. The woman driving them was a relative, we're told. Her injuries were non-life-threatening. Detectives do not believe impairment was a factor in this crash. Parts of the Northeast are being hit yet again by an Arctic blast tonight. The storm moved in overnight, packing a punch that has many in the region digging in for a long winter. The 1,000-mile path of this system has put states from Kansas to Maine in the bullseye with winter storm warnings and watches across the board. Also across the board, airport delays due to the storm forcing many flights to be canceled. That's having a ripple effect being felt from coast to coast. And dangerous conditions on the roads are a major factor as well. At least one person was killed when a car slid off a Missouri interstate. And Caribe Devine joins us now to tell us where the storm is right now. Caribe. Thanks, Caribe. Still to come on 12 News at 10, a final farewell for an iconic leader. Nelson Mandela laid to rest in his childhood village today. The sights and sounds at the funeral of the nation's greatest son up next. Plus,
please pick up the phone if you think you need police. The number's 911 for emergencies.
A Jailhouse Jingle Bell remix you don't want to miss, how cops are taking to TV to warn holiday shoppers of crooks. This weekend, the world's best athletes on snowboards and skis were in Colorado for the Breckenridge Dew Tour. It's an Olympic qualifying event for the 2014 Winter Games in Sochi, Russia. And one of the biggest stars on the snow, snowboarding great Shaun White, is trying to continue his quest to make it to the Olympics in two different events. Mark Curtis has the story. When Shaun isn't competing in halfpipe and slope-style events, he's playing music with his band, something he says he really enjoys because for the first time in his life, it's made him feel like he's part of a team. And it's hard to believe it's even snowing anywhere in Arizona with temps we're having here in Phoenix, Caribe. Oralia? Thanks, Caribe. The final step in Nelson Mandela's long walk is complete. After more than a week of mourning his death and celebrating his life, South Africa laid to rest its greatest son. NBC's Richard Engel reports from Mandela's childhood home, where thousands joined the Mandela family to say their final goodbye. And many South Africans in his home village said, for the first time, Nelson Mandela is finally free. Actor Peter O'Toole has passed away. The actor went from unknown to superstar after appearing in the 1962 film Lawrence of Arabia. According to his agent, O'Toole died yesterday in a hospital. Ireland's president said Ireland and the world has lost one of the giants of film and theater. O'Toole was 81 years old. Straight ahead on 12 News at 10, bikers with Barbies, the motorcycle toy drive to make sure Arizona kids have a Merry Christmas.
If you wanna steal, you better go think twice, 'cause we'll know where you are with Santa as our eyes.
Catchy, and police teaming up with Santa to keep bad guys in line this holiday season. Don't go away. Police in Hampton, Virginia released a remix of Jingle Bells just in time for Christmas. The video shares holiday safety tips. The remix reminds people to be alert for shoplifters as they wrap up their holiday shopping and to call police if they see anything suspicious. As we inch closer to Christmas, Arizonans are showing their generosity for children who may need some extra cheer. Sheriff Joe Arpaio held a military toy distribution for families who have a loved one overseas. Santa Claus on hand for the event. Sheriff Arpaio says it's important to remember the sacrifices our service members make and to make sure their families are taken care of. It's something families say it's a huge help. Also, a little holiday cheer for children who are spending time at the hospital this time of year. Children smiling, all thanks to the biking community who banded together today for a special cause, the second annual Charity Toy Run. Dozens of motorcycle clubs across Arizona came together to collect toys to lift the spirits of ailing children. Clad in their leather jackets and riding gear, hundreds of bikers turned the parking lot of this Walmart on Bell and 19th Avenue into a toy collection site.
It's a matter of getting all the clubs together. We all get together at different events all the time.
And this time, the Arizona Confederation of Motorcycle Clubs revved up their engines to benefit Andrea's Closet, an organization that provides toys to hospitalized children all across the state year-round.
It makes a huge difference when they can go into one of our closets, or one of our closets can be rolled into their room, and they can pick anything they want, and everything's free, everything's brand new.
The hundreds of toys collected at the event, all going to the Arizona Children's Center at Maricopa Medical Center.
You know, down there at the Arizona Children's Center, they have burn victims and stuff like that, and going through a rough time at Christmas time. And to be able to step up and do this for the kids is just a great deal.
You know, toys are so powerful. It really helps to overcome their memory of a painful procedure, and suddenly they're smiling and they're happy again. So it's amazing how powerful a toy can be.
And that toy not only helps the children, but their loved ones as well.
Absolutely. I mean, nobody wants to be in the hospital, especially around the holidays. But I think this is definitely one less thing that the parents have to think about. And it's actually a nice surprise that, oh my goodness, I didn't realize that while we're here, we get all these wonderful toys. And so it is a great thing to see.
If you'd like to help out, you can make a donation to Andrea's Closet. They collect toys year-round for hospitalized children. Great cause. We'll be right back with a final look at your weather forecast. Take a look at this. It's a live nativity scene. First Baptist Church in Chandler put on the inaugural play tonight, free of charge to the public. The performance took the audience a step back in time to Bethlehem with live animals and everything else.
All right, and a great night to get out there. Be the 60s by the weekend.
Thanks, Caribe. And now over to Bruce Cooper for your AZ Central Sports Tonight. Coop.
Thanks a lot, Aurelia. Hey, staying alive. That's what the